Hi, it's Ralph and Lahni It's back again for Planetary Calendar. We're going to be looking at the forecast for January 2025. And as you know, we're doing weekly forecasts now, but we're only sending monthly notifications. So if you want to get a weekly notification, you need to go to youtube.com/Planetary Calendar Astrology, and please subscribe. It really helps us keep the content up. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll get a notification every time we post anything at all. So week 1 of January of 2025 has to incorporate just a couple of quick recaps for the end of December, because you're going to be looking at this while it's still December. So December 29th to January 4th.
Now, the real big thing on the last part of 2024 was the new moon at 9 degrees Capricorn on the 30th, on the Monday. Anytime you have a new moon this time of year, when the light is so short during the daytime, you really do feel it. It tends to be a very, very strong grounding. And this is the new moon after the winter solstice. So it's an especially heavy, grounded lunation. So you may feel that especially. But on the other hand, it means that as we go into the new year, all the energy is coming up, which is kind of nice.
And New Year's Eve itself didn't have any heavy aspects on it except the overflow from the day before. So you've got, kind of a social day, kind of a Uranus-Neptune kind of day. Perfect for New Year's Eve as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
And then we start out on New Year's Day with the moon in Aquarius and the sun parallel moon.
Right, and the moon goes into Aquarius early in the morning, 2:49 a.m. So the whole day the moon's in Aquarius. You're not going to be feeling any kind of void, of course.
And you're going to notice something different here. Above the number, it says conjunct Pluto.
It does.
We've been
Lahni.
telling you about the new features on the 2025. Here you get to see it in person. So I hope you have your calendar and you're following along.
This is exciting.
Under the number, it says opposing Mars. So you know that the moon in Aquarius is opposite Mars and it is conjunct Pluto. So you've got the aspects right there. You don't have to figure them out anymore.
Wonderful. And even the next day, it's even better because it's cooler aspects. On the 2nd, Venus enters lovely Pisces. This is a good time to discuss future business and social plans with colleagues and friends. During the month, Venus will cross over Saturn. So take your responsibilities and relationships seriously. Those with strong Pisces prepare to feel attractive, and you have permission to be indulgent until February 3rd when Venus enters Aries, and then Aries takes over.
I love Venus in Pisces because she's loving and giving.
And compassionate. It's a very compassionate position.
Still self-directed. Look at all those great aspects to the moon. I love it.
This is the exalted position, they call it, which is really the colleague position. It tends to be very social. It tends to be, the people you work with who kind of capture your vision. When you talk to them, they really get it.
Now, just to further delineate, we've always had the aspects on the aspectarian, that's that line to the right of the number, that show the aspects that are being made by the planets to each other. And the only time that the moon appears there is if the moon is making an aspect to the sun.
Right.
So the other aspects that the planets are making to the moon have always been above and below the number. But sometimes people scratch their heads and say, oh, was that aspect before the moon saying change the sign, or after the moon changed the sign? Now you're going to have a better tool to know what exactly that aspect is.
And on that 2nd, you got the moon is trine Jupiter. That's a really nice aspect. That's a really comfortable aspect for the day. And it's sextile Mercury, so this is a very social day. Really good day for communications. A great day for networking with people. It is squaring
Uranus.
And it will be late in the day
Taurus.
because Taurus is relative. Uranus is fairly late in Taurus right now, so it will be late in the day. And then we go on to the 3rd, which are meteors. We have, you say.
We've been loving the meteors. These are the quadrantids.
Thank you.
I am the meteor girl.
It sounds kind of like a dinosaur, doesn't it?
So, a little bit.
I understand. And
a little bit.
You have the moon will be moving into into
Pisces
early in the day.
Yeah.
And
and the moon conjunct Venus, who has just turned into Pisces the day before. So that's going to be a sort of dreamy,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for a day for inspiration, that works for you in the work world, even though, as long as there's something in it for you, because that's Venus.
But be careful if you go out to lunch to not overdo the cocktails.
Well, it's Friday. You get that 2 martini lunch on Friday, don't you?
Exactly. And then we go on to Saturday, which is the 4th. This is a white circle day. Why? Because you have the sun is sextile Saturn. So very good for responsibilities. The sun is sextile the moon, so kind of a nice, easy day emotionally. And the sun is parallel Mercury. And you also have the moon is conjunct Saturn, because Saturn's still in Pisces. Anyone who has strong Pisces knows that, or anyone who has strong Virgo, because it's opposite. And it is sextile Uranus and square Jupiter in Gemini.
And I want to tell you that we gave the white circle to that day, even though there is a square to Jupiter, because Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces, and that's the sign of the moon. So although they're square, they're not in as much challenge as they could be if Jupiter wasn't ruling the sign.
Exactly. And it's real good for the water signs. So you water signs, Pisces, the crab, and
Scorpio.
Scorpio, right? The eagle. Enjoy.
So come back next week for another forecast. And if you don't have our calendar yet, to follow along with these forecasts, you can get it at planetarycalendar.com and visit us on YouTube.